Hello folks, we are set up again. I'm never quite sure whether I should take the camera out and show you the setup, because I think most of you know how to set up a camp, and I'm never sure if I'm going to really stay once I get it set up. But we are in the Charles E. Baker State Forest in Brookfield, New York. It's kind of close to Cooperstown, kind of close to Utica, Norwich. It's west of the Catskills, but not past the middle of the state, out. And it's a great big state forest with a lot of horse trails and bike trails. And they have a whole lot of truck trails, which are really just forest roads that you can run your Jeep on, and if it's really rainy and muddy, they get ugly, but they don't ever get really bad like a real dirt road that gets rutted. But we are camped at one of two campgrounds that the state has put in this forest that are free, and this one is a horse campground out. Because I have this horse, I can stay here. So there's great big sites for horse trailers and horses and tents and all this stuff. There's another campsite. This is called the Moscow campground. And the other site is called the Cherry Ridge campground. And that's like a really small forest campground. And the sites are small, narrow, maybe it's just big enough for the trailer and a picnic table. And this I've got, if you look behind me over here, I've got a covered picnic table. Over there, behind you, I've got a covered paddock area for 5 horses. And then I've got all this area to park and play and throw the ball for him. These sites are free. And they do have big porta-johns that are serviced, so they're in pretty good shape. It's a pretty nice place to come. This state forest has a lot of things in it that I like. It's got some old cemeteries and some great trails. So we'll take you on a tour. Let me feed him, get him out of my face, and we'll be right back. I'll give you a little better view of the campground. This is where we are. And this is our picnic table, and we have all this area for us. There's not another campsite next to us. That clearing is just there. But we're all by ourselves, and this is our paddock if we had horses. Which, if anybody asks, they're coming tomorrow. But there's, I think there's 9 or 10 of these sites. And we're up on a little hill. We are just little close to the road. That's the main road right there, but it's a country road. I doubt that anybody goes down it at night. They do, their troublemakers. So we're in good shape. Got a little bit of cleaning up to do, not a whole lot. There's a few papers and trash around, but we're used to cleaning up. So we'll pick up and leave a sign that says we picked up this campsite. Please leave it the way you found it or better. So I was in the grocery store and I saw these salads for manager special $3, so I got one, and it was a Caesar salad. But I guess I forgot to get the dressing because it has no dressing. So I'm looking through my packaged dressing to see if I have anything that'll work, and so I'm trying a little soy sauce. Who knows? I have a neighbor that has a dog named Trudy, I think. It's a big fat lab. It barks a lot. I think it must. Well, it's time for breakfast. We made kind of a big pancake. My basic blueberry pancakes and sausage. There's a lot of sausages you can eat. They're all good. I just buy the Banquet heat and serve, or whatever they are. Cook and serve, warm and serve, because they're just the easiest. Well, dead hair, but we got our breakfast. And I guess we'll have to do dishes, because we got a lot of dirty stuff. Oh, need my fork. Multi-use utensils. Just for you guys who are really curious, this is my normal cleanup method. I assemble all the dirty dishes and I wipe out the dirt. Again, all my pots and pans are thrift store specials that are anti-stick, and I will wipe them out perfectly clean in reality, but if they're really dirty, I will get them in a pan of hot soapy water and clean them out that way. I have dishes from the week, and I have this is what the pancake batter was in, so that's pretty gross. So we'll do a full clean for these guys. And, whew, that's hot. If you're wondering, this is a Japanese bamboo shower mat, and it works really good for taking a shower outside. Stand on that, you don't get all mud. But it also works really well as a drying mat. When I rinse off, I'll leave them there and the sun will come out and they'll all be dry. The mat stays really clean. I keep it scrubbed up pretty good. It's not, but that's really cool. I can't remember. I got it on Amazon. I can't remember what the link was, but if you're interested in something like that, leave me a comment below and I'll try to find the link, put it in your comment as a reply. Why is there so much trash around the fireplace? I can see in the fireplace, but why around the fireplace? Do they think that the trash is going to jump into the fireplace? I don't usually show this on my videos because I think it's pretty boring and nasty. But yes, we do clean up our campsites. Now, there's a whole garbage bag of household trash over here, and there's another one over there. We can't clean those up. We don't have the equipment or the bags to do that. And if you're a New York viewer, these are illegal in New York, aren't they? You cannot get plastic bags in New York anymore because they're... Well, if you know me at all, you know that there are two things about me. For one, some of my favorite people are dead. Some of my best friends are dead. And then my other friends are all virtual, so I really have no friends that are real. But I love cemeteries, and I hope you can hear me because they're working on the road, and I didn't know they were going to be so loud. But we're in the middle of this forest, this state forest, and as we're going past this place, I see this headstones in the backwoods, so we stopped to take a look, and this is pretty cool. I really like finding really old cemeteries that kind of are abandoned, except it's not really abandoned because this one right here is from 1965, which isn't really that old. But let's look around at some of these headstones and see what we can find. I think some of them are going to be interesting. I guess the real hope is that he doesn't hit my car. He's going up and down that hill. Doing a good job on this road though. They're really fixing a lot of the ruts. But here's a neat one. Beloved in life and lamented in death. What's it say? Gideon K. Hoxie died 1824. 1874, I guess. Actually, the camera sees it better than I do. October 26, 1874. Aged 59 years and 8 months, 7 days. I love these stones that they do that. That's what I want when I'm gone. And here is this Naomi J, wife of Gilbert or Gideon Hoxie. She was aged 70 years. Died something 1878. This appears to have been a fairly large and full cemetery. There are headstones everywhere. Most of them are pretty beat up and broken up and lying in the ground, and it's really sad. A lot of times though, if they're in the ground upside down like this one is, the other side is really preserved from the mud and not being in the weather and all that. Of course, sometimes they also have snakes under them. But what is this? Loving memory of... I can't read it. Can the camera read it? Not really. Well, there we go. Hobart Green. What's it say? February 17. Hobart Green. I can see it better in the camera than I can with my own eyes. February 17, 1833. Here's a protected area, although I don't think the stones say anything better or are any better off. You can clean them. I know a way to clean them with a solution that brings them out. A lot of people put shaving cream on them, and that's not so bad if you can rinse it off completely. Otherwise, the soap and the shaving cream will eat the stone away. Here's 1867, and this is Barton Brand. He was 76 years old. It's a ripe old age back then. Things need to be remembered. In the 1800s. Town of Brookfield. 50 Historical Society. So this is the app I use. It's called Find a Grave. And you have to sign in to get any real information. But I like it. And I've got a lot of memorials and cemeteries and stuff in here that I have done way back when this app first came out. It's pretty good right now. Let's go cemetery search, and it tells you basically where you are. But if we go down through the list of cemeteries, this one is the Quaker Cemetery. that sign is right there that we walked by, and it has pictures of the cemetery. Oops, cancel. Pictures of the cemetery, what we were walking through, and these signs that are up there to identify it. And then it says, you know, the memorials, there's 40 identified people here, 95% photographed, 15% GPS'd, so you can find people. And we go to the memorials. These are all the people that are here. Brand, mostly the Brands, Burdicks, Cheesebro, Collins, Crum, Green, Hoxie, Jennings, Rice, Larkin, so, and unknown childs. So that's what I like to use to see if these old cemeteries have been documented and worked out, and they're pretty cool. And this is a map of the entire forest, Charles E. Baker State Forest, and we are way up here. Oh no, we're camped way up here at the horse campgrounds on Moscow Road, which the locals call it Moscow Road. Different dialects for everybody. And then there's another campground right up here on the top in the middle, although there's all sorts of roads and paths and snowmobile trails and horse trails and hiking trails, and it's a pretty neat place. So this is the Cherry Ridge campground, campsites. And it's just a loop off the road with individual campsites, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then 9 right behind my car. And this is number 1. And number 1 is unique because it has this water thing for it. And I'll show you how this works, if I can get it to work. And that is the potable water source for the campground. And these are the individual campsites. This is number 2, I believe. But you can see it's really big. They're all really big. And they're pretty separated. There's no, you know, you can see maybe through the trees the water pump way over there. But they're a good little campsites. They have fire rings. Let's look at some of the other ones. Here's 3 across the road. Now, like have I always said, inside the circle you may be butting up against the people on the other side, but I don't think that's true here. I mean, there's serious expansion, and there's the next camp over there. I think that's 8. So not totally separated. You're not fully private. And somebody's ripped apart the picnic table. I guess it's pretty rotten anyways, but And now we just cut through the loop. I didn't want to walk all the way around it, but this is the other really big one that I really like. I think this is 6. And they're not, you know, look how huge this is. Look at, you can't hardly see Caesar back there. He's looking for scraps. Hey, get out of there. But, you know, you've got all this space for cars and tents and a pretty good motor home if you want to do in there. And then you're surrounded by woods that are just full of firewood. There's some good things. And you know, whenever I take you on these tours, we always check the bathrooms. Now, these are the bathrooms. They actually have decent porta-johns, and these are serviced, so they're not gross. Or supposedly they're not gross. So let's see. No, see, they're nice and clean. They have the lids up, which is pretty gross. But, you know, they're handicapped accessible. This one's a little more dirty. They should not leave the lids up. When you use a porta-john, you always put the lid down so that the smell goes up the stack and the flies don't come in. But anyways, so not so bad. Well, folks, I think we're gonna end this video here. I think I've got about 2 hours worth of video. Now I gotta cut it all down so it doesn't make too much, so it makes a little more sense. But we've had a good time. This is a huge forest. We just spent the last 2 hours four-wheeling around the dirt roads, and they're not really four-wheel roads. I mean, some of them are a little steep, and they're fixing them. They're putting down new stone and leveling them out, making some of them wider. So the stone's a little loose, so you do hear a little as you're going up the hills. So we throw it into four-wheel drive, but we don't really need to. Anybody could come here. I don't know if a Prius a Prius might rub the center hump is a little tall in places, but it's a beautiful rocky road. Nice, easy getting around, and the main campgrounds are off good roads. I mean, they're like named roads. There's a whole bunch of roads that are called truck trails, and I think there's 24 of them, and you'll see posts that say TT1, TT13, TT14, and we've been running around watching those. They're a lot of fun. They go through some nice little areas, but nothing that requires any skill or anything like that. They don't go through mud or bushes or anything like that. They're designated truck trails for, you know, anything with 4 wheels, really. And actually, if you have an electric bike, boy, I'll tell you, it would be a lot of fun. A big fat tire electric bike, this place would be a lot of fun. You might want to. And there's cell coverage. There's real good cell coverage almost everywhere, except in the very top for some reason. The very top is kind of, you get 1 bar, maybe 2, but I couldn't get out very well. You've had a good time. I hope to see you sometime here, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So, thanks for watching. Leave me a comment. Have you ever come to a place like this? Do you know forest places? You know, New York is unique because they allow you to camp in the state forests. Vermont and Pennsylvania don't. They call them preserves. Stay the hell out. New York says have a fun time. All right, folks. We'll see you on the road. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.